Society, hanging out with Sailor. He's currently chewing on a bone. I am a shelter lead here at the Beaver County Humane Society. I have been here for about 4 years. I am also a certified dog trainer. Sailor came to us as a stray. The police officers found him and they picked him up, brought him to us. We noticed that he had a few wounds on him when he came in, so he had to go on a WUO quarantine for a little bit. We wanted to take the extra precautions to make sure he, didn't have any extra injuries on him. So he was by himself for a little bit in the back. He was isolated from the staff, the volunteers, and other dogs, though he could still hear them, which kind of is what's stressing him out right now. So Sailor is a dog that experienced a lot of shelter stress, and shelter stress here can manifest in a lot of different ways. So shelter stress is a dog not being able to adjust well into the environment here or at other shelters. Usually they're hyperventilating, they're shaking, they're drooling. They would rather be out of their kennel with people than be in their kennel alone, and I get that. So what causes kennel stress in a dog? It's the uncertainty of staff and volunteers coming back to interact with you, and kind of feeling lonely, not being able to go out and do the dog things that you normally would do in a home. Just go outside and play, interact with your people. We do our best here to make sure that the animals are getting what they need, toys, food, love, and plenty of enrichment, whether that be with staff or other dogs. Sailor here, his shelter stress manifests in a different way. He has a few tells that we can kind of see behavior-wise when we're working with him, walking him, or even if he's just in the kennel. He gets pink. He has a certain high-pitched whine during these times, and he turns into a different dog, a very stressed, anxious dog that just can't really think in the moment. Our staff work very hard to accommodate him in those moments because he is just such a special boy, and we all love him here. He's the best. Another thing that we've seen with Sailor here, and which is probably the most significant expression of anxiety, is his leash biting. When he gets over threshold, he tends to jump and bite the leashes. He'll thrash them around until he's at a more calmer level. We've been managing him here with medication, making sure that he gets out when he needs to, he gets appropriate enrichment. He struggles here at the shelter quite a bit, and the ideal environment obviously isn't here. So Sailor is surrounded by dogs here at the shelter. We have a lot of dogs, and usually we are at capacity. We've noticed that some dogs tend to frighten Sailor, and in those moments he panics a bit. He does start the whining, and he turns a little bit pink, so you have to kind of redirect his attention, but he's more so just in shock when he sees them, is the way I like to put it. We don't know what his previous house looked like. We don't know how his people treated him, or if there were other dogs that possibly weren't very nice to him. So it is possible that he is missing some family that he used to have. We've modified his shelter stay quite a bit to accommodate him. We usually do 2 leashes, one on his collar and one on his harness. That way, if we lose control, or if he starts to jump and bite at the leash, we can redirect him with the other leash while he still has something in his mouth. Another way we manage Sailor stress is we try to be very accommodating, and we love to take him to different offices and spend time with him outside of his kennel, because that seems to be the best way to alleviate a lot of his stress. Another accommodation that we like to do for Sailor here are called crate walks, a chariot ride, if you will. We like to stick him in a crate and wheel him out to the yard. It's just a bit safer sometimes to take him out that way when he is already over threshold. Another thing we like to do with Mr. Sailor Moon is muzzle training. He is low-key a pro at it. He does very well. He'll stick his nose right into a muzzle, especially if you have a treat. He has a handling team here as well who really enjoy hanging out with him and taking him out for walks, because they understand that he really needs to be out of his kennel. And the shelter stress is really affecting him. Sailor here is also on behavior meds. He takes medication in the morning and in the evening. Sometimes he likes to take his medication in chicken nuggets. Sometimes he likes to take his medicine in a Hot Pocket. We've done cheese. We've done anything this little man right here will eat. He doesn't really have a preference. He's not very picky. He loves food. Staff also like to play with him sometimes. He does love a frisbee, and he loves some toys. He will play with toys and chew them up. And those are also a few things that make him happy. Mr. Sailor loves Bluey. I don't know if anyone is familiar with the TV show Bluey, but right here we have a huge fan. Sailor is the biggest fan of Bluey. Whenever he is a bit stressed, he likes to watch Bluey to decompress. Usually he'll lay down or sit down in front of the TV, watch Bluey and chew on a chew. So we are looking for a experienced dog owner that has no other animals in the home. Teens and up preferred, just because Sailor he's a smart cookie, but he's a big baby, and he loves to spend one-on-one time with his people. So he might get jealous if there were kids around, or another dog. He might be afraid of the dog. We're also looking for a very understanding individual who is willing to learn Sailor and willing to put in the work to help Sailor. He is very stressed here. We try to make it comfortable for him, but ideally he would like to be in a house, alone, away from other dogs. If you're interested in Sailor, please fill out an application. He is one of the best boys ever, and he is looking for somebody to take him home. Thank you for watching.